Greetings, beautiful people. My name is Simon Javan Okelo. I am the founder and CEO of the Madaraka Festival, and we are here for the Madaraka Podcast. We are recording live from the Seattle Drum School of Music. It's in Georgetown on the south side of downtown Seattle. This is a space where a lot of creatives gather, they make music, they rehearse. Even children come here to learn how to play different musical instruments. So if you're looking for a space where you want to develop your skills, come to Seattle Drum School of Music in Georgetown. But I'm also here with an amazing artist, my brother, Snight Braza. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well. Thank you for making the time on short notice, by the way, to join me today. I'm really proud of you, just looking back at your journey as an artist, but also looking at your journey as a Kenyan youth living here in the diaspora. I feel like you've been very faithful to your passion, which is music, and you've stayed focused, you've stayed safe. Here, a lot of our young people are also they're losing their lives.
True.
Some are being gunned down, some are, drunk and disorderly.
True.
They're ending up in jails,
Yeah.
So I just want to say again that I'm very, very proud of you for preserving yourself, because you know the future that you're building,
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. So I want you to take our audience members back a little bit to your upbringing. I know that you grew up in Mombasa, one of my favorite cities in the world.
Yeah.
How was it growing up in Mombasa?
Man, it was one hell of an experience because, first of all, we're a family of two. It's myself and my small brother. His name is Brian. So we moved there when we were so young. So, in the beginning of it all, we were born in Limuru. But when we were so young, our parents got the opportunity to come to the United States. So, in that whole shift of things, she was looking for people to stay with us because we couldn't travel with them.
Right.
So, in the midst of everything, her sister, who was in Mombasa, said, "Hey, I'll watch the kids. You guys go ahead and see how things are gonna be." And then, so we moved from Limuru to Mombasa when we were so young.
From a cold weather place to a warm weather.
So everything there now, life started in Mombasa.
Yeah.
Went to school at a school called SDA.
Yeah.
It was an Adventist school.
Yeah.
That's where I did my primary. Then from there, I also went and finished my Form 1 back to Nairobi at Laser Hill.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
At Laser Hill. And why Laser Hill? Was because also, now that's when the process for coming here was starting, and all the paperwork, you have to do them in the embassy in Nairobi.
Right.
So the commute from Mombasa to Nairobi to come do all those things was too much.
Right.
So they took me to school
in
Nairobi, where it's closer for everything.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, once I finished my Form 1, I came to the States.
Wow. I came to the States when I was 26 years old, the very first time,
Wow.
And I was, at that time, I was the field director for Africa. I was working for a big NGO. We were building schools in like South Sudan.
Oh, nice.
We built a health clinic in Ghana, in Kenya. We built an orphanage home and a school in Malawi.
Oh.
So I was coming here to do fundraising. I went to New York. I went to 8 different states to do fundraising for these projects.
Yes.
So I was meeting some of the companies that were putting money into this project, some of the donors. That was my first time coming to the US. But I was talking to people who live in America all the time because they were the donors and they were involved with these projects, And my mother was also running an orphanage home from 1997 to 2013. So a lot of Wazungus were coming.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so, I just love the immigration story, and also just the journey of people growing up before, because nobody just showed up, you
True,
know,
true.
like in the movies, people just show up.
Yeah. Out of nowhere.
Yeah, but in real life, you know, there's a journey. Yeah, I love that. So then, how has it been for you transitioning from high school age in you know, living in Kenya, in Mombasa, and now you've been taken from warm weather to a cold place?
Man, I tell you, the first when I got here, I was like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
First of all, I had never seen snow in my life.
Yeah.
I came to see it here, and when we came here in 2012,
Yeah.
that first week, it snowed.
Wow.
So everything was, I was just, what is this?
Yeah.
What is white stuff on the ground?
Yeah.
Like, what is going on?
Everywhere.
And then we have all these big jackets, big gloves, and all the warm stuff, but still I was very cold because I've lived my entire life in a place where it's like 100 degrees plus.
Yeah.
So the transition was a little tough in the beginning,
Yeah.
but as time went by, slowly got used to it.
Yeah.
And I'm still getting used to it. I'm not fully used to it. It's still cold. Like today was very, very cold today.
Yeah.
And yesterday.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's been cold, very cold lately.
You have to add your layers and stay warm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
You know, when we think about, you know, for me, when I look at you, I really have a lot of respect, because you didn't only transition from Kenya to living in the diaspora, but then you discovered your art and your talent in music, you know, and you're one of those people who are always reaching out, you know. Simon, how can I help with Madaraka Festival? How can I be one of the featured artists? What can I do? You know, you're always putting yourself out there. And I think that says a lot about your character. It says that you've discovered, you know who you are.
Yes.
And you're not afraid to pursue your dreams, you know. And you just dropped an EP, which I really love, you know. I want you to just talk about your journey as an artist, and where did it start? Why did you release your EP on Valentine's Day? And also just talk about the title, you know, for two.
For sure. Sure. So my journey for music, you know, I'm going to try to keep it nice and detailed. So my journey for music actually started since I was in Kenya. Our family has a background of music. One of my aunts used to be in choir. My mom used to be in choir as well, a Catholic choir.
Right.
So music was in the family.
Right.
But also something else was in the family was football.
Right.
From my dad. So for me, those are the two things that I really loved. But as I grew up, I did more football. As you know, growing up back home,
football is
it's the easier route to take, because you can get up in the morning and go play outside with your friends and go back home and you have fun. When you were young back then, there's no way I can go do music. There's no way I could go to a studio, or somebody has instruments for me to go and perfect this craft that I had when I was young. So I was like, that's almost impossible. So I was like, I'm going to do football instead. So I started doing football. So even when I came here, everybody knew me as a
footballer.
Yes, everybody.
Yeah.
Until 2 years ago, when I started to do music. So, but for music, I was doing it all these years, but in church. I was the praise and worship leader in church. So all those years I've just been singing in church, and just only church people know I sing. Some of my close friends, that's about it.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to do anything else with it. I'm like, oh, I sing in church, that's it, done.
Yeah.
Leave it at that. I don't want anything else. I'm gonna go pursue my dream of becoming
a footballer.
A footballer.
Yeah.
And I actually did, because I went to Thailand. I traveled to Thailand. I've been to like almost 13 different states here, just traveling to play. So I was really, really into it.
Yeah. What position do you play?
I am a forward, a winger.
Nice.
Yeah, I was a forward. I'm still a forward. I still play.
Yeah.
But as I was playing and years went by, I slowly started to tell myself, So football was working out, but also at the same time, I was not getting what I really wanted and how I had planned things to go.
Yeah.
And the rough thing about football is that age really matters.
Yeah.
You know, in football, age matters a lot, because if you're a footballer and you're 26 years old, there is a 17-year-old that can do the same things you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So when they're signing anybody in any club, they'd rather sign a 17-year-old because now they have a future.
Mm-hmm.
You're growing older. That means you also, your injury prone starts to increase because your body is breaking down the older you get.
Yeah.
So the industry started becoming rough on the football side.
Yeah.
And for me, I'm that one person where I like to be realistic with things.
Yeah.
I don't want to hold on to a false thing or a false hope. No matter how good I am, I look at the chances that I have and what it's giving me, and how I can be able to capitalize from it.
Yeah.
And for me, football, it got to a point where I felt like those opportunities were becoming smaller and smaller the older I got.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, what should I do? What am I going to do? My friends started saying, you sing.
Yeah.
You sing, you should sing, you should sing, you should sing. I was like, maybe. Then I started singing. I listened to some of them. I started getting on Instagram, and I started singing every Friday. I used to sing with a guitarist. His name is Dennis. Maybe, I think you guys know Dennis.
Yeah. He's
Dennis.
from Kenya too, right?
Yes.
Yeah, he's a great guitar player.
Dennis and myself started going on Instagram Live every Friday. For a year before I started doing actual music. So for like a good year, we just get on Instagram.
I love that, yeah.
We sang for people. People are leaving comments. People are like, so I used to do covers. People are like, now you should start doing your own music. But yeah, keep going. I'm like, Dennis, should I? Dennis is like, yeah, man, I've been telling you to do this for a long time. Because Dennis knew I can sing.
Yeah.
Dennis is like, you have to do it.
Yeah.
I've been telling you this. I was like, okay, I think this is the right time.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And my spirit told me that
you have to listen to yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I said, I think this is the right time.
Yeah.
And now I feel like if I did it now, I would do it with everything that I have.
Yeah.
And I thank God. I don't regret every step that I took to where I am, because I feel like had I done it back then when I loved football that much, I wouldn't have given music an actual genuine opportunity to serve a purpose in my life. You see? So I dropped a little bit of the football, and I started increasing music.
Yeah.
Music. I released my first song, Mpenzi Njo. That was my first song I dropped, and I sang it at the Madaraka I was telling you about earlier before.
Talk about that. Talk about that.
So that song, I wrote the song. I didn't release it. And then we had a soccer tournament. There's a very big Kenyan soccer tournament called Camp Toyoyo. It happens in all different states across the US. So we were we were in Minnesota. And then we were in the team van, and one of my friends knew I had the song as a file on my phone. And he had my phone. So he said, I'm going to play this song. I'm not going to say anything. I just want to hear their reaction to the song.
Yeah.
I said, okay, sure, go ahead. Played the song. We were driving to the game to go play. Everybody starts going, who's this? Whose song is this? Who's this? Who's this? This sounds like you, bro. I'm like, yeah, it's me. It's like, the song is out. I'm like, no. It's just an audio that I just have.
Yeah.
They're like, no. This has to be out. You have to release. I was like, oh my goodness, what did I just do? And I was scared because I wasn't comfortable yet, like, to write and put music out for people to listen. And I was like, am I even good enough? Like, truth be told, those questions come all the time.
Yeah.
So it was this very scary moment, but then people's reactions are telling me different.
Go ahead. Yeah.
But myself, I'm still like,
Yeah.
What is happening? What am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
I went home, talked to my mom about it. My mom told me, what do you have to lose?
Yeah.
What do you have to lose?
Yes. Yes.
And I thank my mom so much. She's my biggest support system when it comes to music and anything that I do. Then she told me, you should do what your heart wants and what makes you happy. He said, when you do this music thing you're doing, are you happy? When you're doing this music, does it give you some sort of peace, how does it make you feel? I told her, Mom, I think I love singing. And I feel like I want to sing more now than ever before. She was like, then do it. And I was like, okay. I went right away.
Yeah.
I had some few friends in Kenya. One of my friends used to do, one of my friends used to do graphic design.
Yeah.
But then he responded too late.
Yeah.
And then Dennis, I contacted Dennis because he also does art.
Yeah.
I was like, hey bro, I need a cover art. So now I'm ready. I'm excited. I want to drop the song. I said, I want a cover art. So I was like, Dennis, you draw. I want you to draw something. Draw me.
Yeah.
So I sent him a picture. I was like, draw this one. I was like, draw this one.
Yeah.
This is gonna be the cover art for my song.
Yeah.
So I drew it. Few months later, I think 2 months later, I dropped the audio on YouTube. It has that cover art that Dennis drew. It's right there. And then our song drops. Everybody in the comments is talking about, oh my God, where have you been? It looks like you've been singing for like 10 years, you've been singing for the past 6. I'm like, no, this is my first song. The comments and the feedback started becoming overwhelming in a good way. Now I'm starting to say, okay, there's something here then. I have to be real. I said, there's something I did right. And that's what I want to keep doing. And it's not even because I hadn't trusted myself, but it's because of the peace that I see my music is giving people. I'm seeing people having these different emotions when they listen to my music.
Yeah.
That's what started to really bring the more of the music out of me, more and more. I love this song because it's done this for me. I was going through something, and I listened to your song, and I was all those types of feedback that I get.
I love that.
Yeah, it's the most important thing that I, as a creator, like to hear, because it means that I'm making an impact in the society.
I love that.
Yes. So
I love that.
fast forward, I dropped a few more singles, and then recently my most recent body of work is my latest EP. It's called For Two. For Two was an EP that I wrote having in mind Valentine's. It was very intentional.
I watched how you marketed it towards Valentine.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It was very intentional because I was in the mindset of creating something where two people that love each other and show a strong affection to each other, a body of work they can listen to and share that love with good vibes around them. And in return, so that's why when you look at the two songs, one song is very slow and intimate, and one is like a dancing love song. So I wanted to create this moment where it's like we can dance in love, we can be affectionate in love, in this period of love, which is February, Valentine's. So the first song is called Owawa. No, first let me talk about the name. The name For Two. So For Two, I was sitting down at there's a park close to my house that I go to every morning to get some sort of ideas. So I was sitting there this one time. I was thinking, I was like, what am I gonna call that body of work that I want to release? And then sitting down, and then there's a truck that passed by. There's a truck that passed by. It said four brothers or something. It said something. I looked at it and I was like, why would that company call? What I was like, why would somebody call themselves that?
Yeah.
And I was like, four brothers. I even looked it up.
Yeah.
So I looked it up and I was like, oh, it's a company that does. It was just some crazy things. You know, when you're by yourself, you just see things and you want to do things.
Yeah.
So when I was searching, I was like, wait a minute. So the EP I was supposed to drop, I wanted to drop 2 songs.
Yeah.
I saw that I was saying for 4 brothers. I said, this can be called For Two.
Yeah.
Because it's 2 songs for 2 people that share
love for
each other.
Yeah.
So I was like, this is going to be perfect. So for me not to forget, I texted a few of my friends, hey, just don't disregard this message. I said, for two. And that was like 3 months before I released it.
Mm-hmm.
So For Two, it simply means for 2 people to show love for each other.
Yeah.
And it's 2 songs.
I love that.
With 2 different vibes.
I love that.
Yes.
How's the response been?
Response has been massive because, first of all, I have a collab in there. Big shout out to my brother Okelo Max.
Okelo Max is so talented.
Okelo Max is in there. He's in one of the tracks.
Yeah.
He blessed it so much. Man, if you have not listened to it, please go check it out. The EP is amazing. The feedback is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still going through some of the comments. I'm not done yet, but so far, thank you so much for the support to everyone supporting it.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okelo Max is a smart artist too.
Very.
He's collabing with a lot of artists internationally.
Very smart guy.
And I like that about him.
Mm-hmm. And the taste of music and the touch of music he puts is very unique, and that's one thing that made me want to work with him.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the Luo, the English, it's just amazing. It's just amazing, yeah.
I love that.
It's just amazing.
So what are some of your dreams? Like, where do you want to go as an artist? What's your biggest thing that if you accomplish, you'd go back to your mom and say, you know, I made it?
Me, one of them as like on the top of my head right now, I want to be able to be nominated at the Freemans.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Freemans, the music awards.
Mm-hmm.
That's something that's been on my head lately a lot, and I think to me that's gonna be huge, because what does that mean for those people that don't understand what I'm talking about? That's the biggest award ceremony in Africa, right? It's the biggest one, eh?
It's here though.
Yeah, it's here, but it's for the African music.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it is based here in the US.
Yes.
So for me that's so huge, because that means my continent has recognized my music in a bigger level, where the whole of Africa can resonate with me and can connect with me through my music. And to me, that's a platform I want to be at one day in my career. Yeah.
I think it's achievable. I like how you think.
Yeah.
You're realistic, just the way you said earlier.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's achievable, and it's something you could achieve faster than you actually think.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
Yeah, I love that.
Yes.
Man, so first look at this camera and tell our viewers, I am Snight Braza and you're watching Madaraka Podcast on YouTube. Please subscribe.
Hello everybody, my name is Snight Braza. You're watching the Madaraka Podcast on YouTube. Please subscribe and share.
I love that. And then one of the things I really value is, before I do that, also look at the camera and tell everybody how they can connect with you on social media.
Oh yes, make sure you check out my social media pages at Snight Braza, SNIGHT space Braza, all social media platforms. Thank you.
Excellent. So one of the things I love to share with my audience is to give them something to take away. And a lot of people lately have been asking me, Simon, how have you produced Madaraka Festival for 10 years, and I ask my guests to give 3 tips about how to be successful in producing events, live music events, or any event. And as an artist, I know that you've been to many events. Share with us 3 tips of what it takes to produce a successful event in your perspective.
In my perspective, for I think number one, and it's the number one thing we all can't miss, and I know even the best still try to find the best of that, is sound.
Right.
You understand?
Yeah.
Even Madaraka, the sound that they had last year, they will try to have better the next coming year.
That's true.
So I think if a lot of events and a lot of ceremonies, if they have good sound and professional sound, I think that takes the whole event just to another atmosphere, another level. That's number one. Number two, I think networking with the right people, because you can't do it all alone.
Right.
Because most people fail because they want to do it all alone.
Yeah.
Or the people they work with want to do it all alone.
Yeah.
They have to work with people that like teamwork.
Yeah.
Teamwork. Number three, I just think you have to be passionate. You have to love what you do. They say you sacrifice. What does the sacrifice mean? Sacrifice means I'm willing to do anything to make this work. Some people, they find challenges when they're doing whatever they love. That's when they want to quit.
Yeah.
No. You said, I want to sacrifice, I want to be successful. Everything that is happening comes with that.
Yeah.
So people have to be passionate and be willing to do whatever it takes to make an event turn out or to create an event.
Yeah.
I think those are my 3 tips I have.
I love that.
Mm-hmm.
It's really important for me to talk about Madaraka Festival because you've been an artist on the Madaraka lineup, and you are on the stage as one of the opening acts for Sauti Sol last year. You also opened for Pato Banton in 2021, and we are talking about the potential of having you at multiple dates this year. What does Madaraka Festival mean to you?
Madaraka Festival, actually, I think you sort of changed how I viewed Madaraka. Because the first time I heard about Madaraka, I thought, from how I know it is like Kenyans. It's a Kenyan event. You'll only find Kenyans.
Mm-hmm.
But it touched me so much to come to see you've extended the festival to become a global festival, whereas somebody in America knows what Madaraka is.
100%.
You understand?
Mm-hmm.
And that is to me, it means so much. Sometimes word can't explain it, because if you're in Kenya, I know there's some people that know what 4th of July is.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Without even ever coming here.
Yeah.
You understand?
Mm-hmm.
So the importance of other nations and other races understanding what Madaraka is the substance that Madaraka Festival to me has brought, and to me is just beyond, and it's something that will be remembered for years. I hope you understand my explanation. Yeah, it's just deeper.
Yeah,
I know you didn't expect that maybe, but it's really deep. That's how I look at it. Yeah.
I feel like it's true.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's true, and
Mm-hmm.
I really appreciate your perspective.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I asked out of curiosity because I value your opinion,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like that is the most genuine response I could get.
True.
Yeah, and also for me, I'm still growing as a leader, as a human being, as a producer of Madaraka Festival.
Mm-hmm.
So feedback is how I thrive.
True.
Yeah. Excellent. So for those who are joining us for today's conversation here on Madaraka Podcast, my guest has been Snight Braza, who is one of the most talented artists in the Kenyan and African diaspora community here in America, and I have a lot of confidence that you guys are going to be seeing him all over on your stages, on your TVs and radios. You'll be hearing him.
For sure.
And I'm very lucky that I get to, witness your journey as you grow. So for those who are tuned in, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up. And if any of our conversation, if anything we said inspired you, make sure you leave a comment and I will personally respond to it. So this is the end of our conversation today. Do you have any closing comments before we wrap up?
No, thank you so much for having me. I'm looking forward to being here again.
Excellent.
When I've achieved a little bit more.
No problem.
Yeah.
This is your platform, man.
Thank you so much.
Asante sana.
Karibu sana.
Asante.